stay black.
The Real Unwoke.
Hola, 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 hola. Thank you guys. Appreciate the round of applause. I really do. Happy Tuesday. What do we call Tuesdays? I don't know. I don't think we have a day. I don't think we have a theme for Tuesdays, guys. So if you guys can think of something for Tuesdays, let me know. So we got money moving Mondays. All right. We've got nothing for Tuesdays. Wednesdays, hump day Wednesdays. Thursdays, I don't think we have anything for Thursdays. Fly away Fridays. All right. So we got to come up with a theme for each day. All right. I'm going to need you guys to help me with that. But how you guys doing today? What's up, Lee? My boy Lee is in the building. What's happening, man? How you doing? Appreciate you. Appreciate you on the back end. Miss Old Soul, how are you? All right. Guys, if you are just getting into the chat, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are not currently a subscriber, go to the YouTube right now and subscribe. I promise you. Every time I finish a live, I get off. I see I get so many views. You know, my analytics show who's subscribed. So I need you guys to subscribe. Lloyd, please drop that link for all of the newcomers. What's happening, everybody? We got Gretchen in the house. Lori is in the house. We got John is in the house. How you guys doing? We got Carrie. Hello, hello. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Share the video out. Please share the video out. The only way we're going to disseminate this information is through the help and the will of the people. All right. What's happening, Sydney? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hope all is well. First and foremost, guys, prayers go out to the families that are experiencing the hurricane. I'm not sure. You know, the full extent of what's going on. I haven't really been following it, but you know, we've getting some of the vestigial after effects out here, so in Michigan. So you know, thoughts and prayers go out to the families that are out there. You know, hurricanes, storms, all these, you know, natural occurrences are not always typically good, you know. Tony's in the house. What's happening, Tony? Tony is in the house. Appreciate you, Tony. Lachey, what's happening, Miss Lachey? How are you? Who else? I think I already said what up to you, Damien. What's that? Damon, excuse me. Kanye, wait, Key West is getting rocked. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in Key West. Hope everyone is okay. Yeah, I know. That's it's not good. It's not good. You know, I think was that you, Old Soul, said something about the I think you said something about the okay, here you go. Hurricane at the new Floridians cleaned out all the stores, bunch of novices. Oh, they're cleaning out the stores. Oh gosh. Just heard Cuba was totally blacked out. Wow. Oh man, this is so this is no joke. What is it? A category 3, 4, 5? What? Let me know in the chat. In the chat. But guys, I hope everyone's feeling all right. You know, sorry I had to do the whole brief introduction thing. That's just my feng shui. All right, you guys know how we do. So yeah, I was just sitting back and I was talking to my boy Lee, and we were just like, you know, just kind of like pinging ideas from each other. You know, I'm gonna have to bring you on here, Lee, because I think the people need to hear you, man, because you got some good ideas. I mean, a lot of the things that we've talked about, I've kind of theorized and postulated once before, but you know, just to have others, like-minded people, kind of understand the perspective that you kind of come to realize what's going on in the world. You know, it's great. It's great. It's very refreshing. Isn't it refreshing to run across like-minded individuals? You know, especially when you're just feeling so cloistered and siloed in the world. Like, man, no one thinks like me. Like, I'm just an alien here. What planet am I on? So it's really refreshing, and I definitely appreciate every last one of you guys for being here. Jada said, anyone who accepted any jab shot was definitely the guinea pigs. Oh, come on, Jada. Some of us have jobs, and we were forced, unfortunately. I look, I I'm just gonna say this briefly. All right, I didn't want to get the jab. I did not. I opposed it every step of the way. I went down swinging. I did, but my brother had to get it. Look, I'm making. Look, I'm sorry. I still have a 9 to 5, and until this thing really kind of picks up, this YouTube. Unfortunately, I am still a slave to the rat race. So I had to take it, unfortunately. And notwithstanding, I work in a hospital setting. So yeah, they were like, "Get your black ass over here. You're getting a jab." So yeah, that's my story. Unfortunately, I wish I had been a little bit more brave, but hey, you live and you learn. Carrie said I had to. Now I'm just waiting. Okay, but anyways, guys, let's get into this. So look, like I said, I was talking to my boy Lee, and we was coming up with this theory. Like, um, do you think that the government is using women as an instrumental tool to divide and conquer? Let me explain. Okay, so okay, back in, I want to say early 50s. Excuse me, when the men went off into the World War II, right? When men went off to fight in a war, the women were left at home with the children, and they had to work the factories, right? They had to man the factories. Okay. Women had to go off into work. Sometimes I believe there were some form of daycare services or whatever the case, but nonetheless, women were off into the workforce. Now, this is something that you guys got to understand, because when women entered into the workforce at that period of time in history, that big business learned a very valuable lesson, which was the more the more labor the more labor that the more surplus of labor, the more we can cut the wages in half. Okay, because historically, one income could sustain an entire family. But now that we have a surplus of labor, we can slice the what we're willing to pay our employees in half. And I believe since that has come into effect, wages have been stagnated since, because we have a surplus of employees. Um, Notwithstanding, listen, I got some data to back up a lot of this stuff, but I just want to kind of give you guys my the narrative that I've constructed out of this. All right. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Can big business sold women out? And I think women weren't. I think women were under the impression that they were not gonna have to um devote their entire lives into working, because they were it was somewhat supposed to be a temporal thing until the man returned. But as but when the men came back, the women were already pretty much fortified in this routine and working and out there securing their own provision. Okay, because remember, women have hardwired biological instincts to seek out security. So when they discovered that they can establish their own security, which we see happening today, they said, really, what's the use of having a man in an instance? So listen, I want to play this quick little video so you guys can get. It's only a minute long. All right. Absolutely, all to capitalize on cheap labor. Absolutely, and imbalance the market. Okay, and women account for 80% of the consumer spending. All right. Women account for 80% of the consumer spending. So that explains why a lot of big corporations, the media, and even in a lot of instances the government panders to women, because the buck stops with the women, because they're the ones that are making all the consumer decisions. All right. However, men are still being taxed more because we generate more income. Now, make that make sense. But let's go ahead. I'm going to play this little video so you guys can get a little historical context here. All right. Here we go. All right, so it's black and white, so bear with me. I mean, come on, you guys remember black and white television, right? No, no. Look, I didn't live in that during that time period, but I remember it.
Man utilized, we are still short millions of hands. We must call upon women. All over the United States, women are called upon to leave their homes and take jobs. Among our young unmarried women and among older women whose children are grown, we have a large reserve. They discover that factory work is usually no more difficult than housework. Employers find that women can do many jobs as well as men, some jobs better.
Heard that?
Tens of thousands of women are already at work in aircraft. More are being added as fast as they apply.
Yep.
This solves the breadwinning problem for many families whose men are at war.
Yep.
The government's policy is that women should get the same pay that men get for similar work. Where necessary, machinery is adapted for women's use. When a hand drill weighs heavily on feminine muscles, the lazy arm drill is introduced to take off the strain.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
When married women with small children have to take jobs, everything possible will be done
heck?
to provide day care for the children.
All right, so okay. So you guys saw that, right? All right. Hold up. How do I get this off the screen? All right. So I just wanted to give you guys some historical context. That really occurred. Okay. The men left, the women had to join the workforce, the labor force. All right. And in doing so, that increased the labor supply. All right. So that meant for more people, the government could tax. Okay. All right. You following me? Follow me. All right. But remember, guys, there are always biology does not adhere to social constructs. So with all of this social engineering that's taken place, in part by the government, it does not coincide with biological imperatives. All right. Women are not designed to work for extended period of times. They're just not. I mean, that's what that's what actually accounts, one of the variables that account for the wage gap, because women typically do not work as many hours as men do. But this was the narrative that was being pushed onto women. All right, women. All right, hold up. Oops. Here we go. Now, I want you guys to hear my man Jordan Peterson. He kind of elucidates on this a little bit further, and then we'll kind of like intermittently, stop and talk about it. Let me just. What in the dog monkey? All right, hold up. Here we go. Yeah, well, I imagine so. Also, I imagine so. Here we go. Now, listen to my man Jordan Peterson. He kind of elaborates on this a little bit more.
Saying, well, yeah, now, because women have access to the birth control pill now and can compete in the same domains as men, roughly speaking, there is a real practical problem here. It's partly an economic problem now, because when I was roughly your age, it was still possible for a one-income family to exist. Well, you know that wages have been flat, except...
Remember, that's exactly what I said. It was possible for an entire family of 4 to be sustained off one income, okay? Because the employers, the companies, the businesses, they had to compete for the qualified candidates to work. And, and through those negotiations, I'm sure they were, they had to, they had to make sure they were bringing the right price.
In the upper 1% since 1973. Why? Well, it's easy. What
Oh,
happens
great,
when you
an
double
ad.
the labor force?
Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use markers in Premiere Pro to help.
I'm sorry, let me just mute that. Okay, here we go.
What happens? You have the value of labor. So now we're in a situation where it takes 2 people to make as much as 1.
Yeah, that's
did
Peterson
before.
also.
So we went from a situation where women's career opportunities were relatively limited to where they were relatively unlimited, and there were 2 incomes.
Exploded. It absolutely exploded. And I'm going to show you guys another video where it gives you it delineates the gap between male participation and female participation in the labor force. You're going to see that delineation and how it narrows as we progress further into the future. So just finish it, hearing what he has to say, and then we'll play the next one.
To where, and so women could work, to a situation where women have to work and they only make half as much as they would have otherwise. And now we're going to go into a situation, this is the next step, whereas women will work because men won't. And that's what's coming now. So there was an economist article showing that 50% now of boys in school are having trouble with their basic subjects. And you look around you in universities, you can see
that is happening. Listen, also that's happening here in America too. Black boys in particular are reading at a 3rd grade level. They're being neglected on at every front. All right, the college enrollment rate for women has exponentially increased, while simultaneously the college enrollment rate for men has decreased. Why is that happening? Because men are not feeling like they're not feeling welcome at these institutions, because they're really just hubs for the woke indoctrination camps.
See this happening. I've watched it over decades. I would say 90% of the people in my personality class are now women. There won't be a damn man left in university in 10 years, except in the STEM fields. And it's a complete bloody catastrophe.
Yep.
And it's a catastrophe for women, because I don't know where the hell you're going to find someone to have a, to marry and have a family with if this keeps happening.
Yeah. So if ultimately what he's saying is, if women price men out of the market, the labor force, with these competing white collar jobs and other jobs, I mean, they're even they're even last I checked, they're pushing women into construction. I mean, even manual labor jobs. I mean, what's going to happen then? They're just going to have robots like that video we just saw to kind of like to facilitate women and moving heavy boulders and something. What are we going to do? Women's movement put pride over real economics. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna play this next one. We're gonna coalesce everything here together. Like the video, guys. Like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the video, please. Again, I've been having some issues with my channel. People have been getting unsubscribed. I don't know why. They don't like the truth, obviously. All right, here's one more, and then we're gonna get into some numbers. Stop sharing this screen right here, and let's play this right here. Where we at? Promoted. Blah, 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 blah. Nope. I think this is it. Yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the debt. We're gonna get. I got a full on article about the debt, Lee. All right, here we go.
Just in higher level occupations that women's changing marriage and childbearing patterns were reflected in their work patterns. The gap between men's and women's participation in the labor force in general narrowed dramatically.
Here we go.
In 1950, 94% of men, but only 33% of women were in the labor force.
Y'all see that? In 1950, 94% of men, but only 33% of women were in the labor force. Okay, this is 1950.
This gap of 61 percentage points narrowed to 45%.
Narrowed to only 45%. Excuse me, of 61%. Wait, this gap of 61. Okay, so the 61% was the between the 94%. Okay, so it narrowed to 45 points. All right.
Percentage points by 1970. At the end of the century, the gap was only 12 percentage points.
12%. 12% at the end of the century. The gap was only 12% percentage points as 86% of men and 74% of women in the labor force. All right. So this is premeditated, guys. This was premeditated to get women into the workforce and to get them inculcated in this and to be another tax bracket. To be another subject of taxation. All right, here we go.
As 86% of men and 74% of women were in the labor force. In addition to entering the labor force in general.
All right, I think that pretty much sums that up. All right, so I want to get into some numbers. Hold up. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, Ken, that's an unfortunate reality of the world is that, you know, typically low skilled labor, it's paid abysmally low. It's very unfortunate, but you know, when there's such a disproportionate rate of labor out there, you know, many people that's willing to work and for that have low skills, and I'm not implying that about your mom. I'm just saying that if that's the job, if that's what she's getting paid a week, then after clothes and childcare, she has $100 to show for $40 a week. Yep. And that's par for the course for a lot of women, a lot of families. Let's get into some numbers here. So right now we are in the she economy, and I'm gonna read this article here, guys, so you guys can see. And this is all substantiating my initial premise. All right, I want you guys to understand this is last few videos, few lives I've been doing. It all kind of ties into one another. All right, that we are currently living under a gynocracy. Okay, where there is literally a paradigm shift from the patriarchy to the matriarchy way of operating throughout society. And that's all right, we'll get into that. Hold up. All right, so here's the she economy. I'm gonna read this for you guys. Media and social focus on gender diversity. There's that woke buzzword. The male-female wage gap and women's role in the workplace has rightly been a key topic in 2019. Corporate investors are paying close attention. For women, these public discussions have set the stage for the greater equality in areas like education, professional development, blah, blah, blah. All right, let me read this part. Let me start back. Greater professional development, income growth, and consumer power. For corporates and investors embrace these trends, there are numerous benefits, from more nuanced corporate governance and performance to bottom line growth. A recent duo of the report from Morgan Stanley Research approaches this theme from two angles. First, how growing a population of prime working age women in the United States, many single and focused on career, will have greater representation in the labor force, help boost wages, and create potentially large tailwinds in a number of consumer products categories. All right. Hold up. Size and the way to go. No. Single women are expected to grow 1.2% annually from, and remember, guys, emphasis on single women. All right. These are not married women. They need more single women. They want you as a woman to devote your entire life to working for some company or some business so they can tax you. Compared with a 0.8% for overall population. So look at the overall population. This is married women, divorced women, but look at the spike here for single women. Look at that. Look at that. Whew. And it's supposed to, and it's constantly rising. So so Yes, ladies. So what can we glean from this? So as you continue to sacrifice family, motherhood, and a potential life with a husband and children, you do that at your peril because you're now benefiting the system. All right, hold up. Stop sharing. Okay. Oops. All right. Now, let me talk about this. And look, we've talked about this multiple times, okay? Women are 80% more likely to file for divorce, all right? And wreck their homes. And not in all cases that's that's what's going on, but I'm just giving you the general numbers, all right? Women file for divorce at an 80% rate. And there are some attributing factors as to why that is happening. And I have this very interesting article here. I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. All right. Okay, here we go. So the work life. Oops. Getting a top job dramatically increases women's chances of divorce, even in egalitarian countries. Why isn't it the same for men? Having a successful and enjoyable career alongside a fulfilling romantic relationship is a life goal for many of us. All right. So remember, they want more single women. That's what the government wants. Okay. That's what media and all this propaganda has been promulgating to women. Okay. Be single, be free to work and build your career. Okay. All right. But even in the most gender equal countries, finding a partner that lasts is trickier for high flying women than men. And Sweden, which ranked first in the EU's gender equality index, so they're using Sweden as the most egalitarian society, thanks to factors like generous parental leave, subsidized daycare, and flexible working arrangements. Economists recently studied how promotions to top jobs affect the probability of divorce for each gender. The result: women were more likely to pay a higher personal price for their career success. Promotion to a top job in politics increases the divorce rate for women, but not for men. And for women who become CEOs, divorce faster than men who become CEOs. Why is that so, guys? Why is that so? Well, typically women in these highly competitive careers, they acquire masculine traits. What are those masculine traits, you ask? Well, assertiveness, dominance, disagreeableness, okay, competitiveness, and all of those traits, albeit, are great for men. All right, those are great traits to have as a man. However, it does not redound to your benefit as a woman. All right, let's see what more this has to offer here. The paper, which looks at the lives of heterosexual men and women working for private companies on, okay, blah, blah, blah. All right, so they did a longitudinal study. Okay, cool. It is still seen as quite unusual for men to be the main supportive spouse in someone else's career. I wonder why that is. I mean, well, I can see how that can be an optimal position for a beta male, but typically masculine men, they're not going to stick around and have to compete for their wife's attention. Okay, masculine men seek submissive, feminine, cooperative, nurturing women. Okay, they're not going to deal with a woman that possesses the aforementioned traits that we just discussed. All right, they cannot coexist with each other. not for long term. Okay, everybody's gonna say, I know somebody who's has a career and they have a husband. Look, I'm just telling you what the number says, and what they say is that typically those relationships are suboptimal and they do not last long. All right, unfortunately. Oops. Let's talk about. Hold up. Oh, don't you dare start freezing up on me. Let me know if I'm freezing up, guys. All right. And not to mention, women account for the most student loan debt. The most debt. What is it? Well, student loan debt, but also consumer debt, which is, I think they account for 2/3 of the population. Yeah, 80%. 80%, Tony. And Tony, Ken, all you guys are still on Facebook. I need you guys to transition over to YouTube. Go subscribe, please, 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 please. All newcomers, please go subscribe on my YouTube. I need the numbers up. All right, hit the like button too as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, 80% of marriages end in divorce, and because of the women typically will file. File first. All right, let's shift over here, shift gears. All right, hold on. Here we go. Share the screen. And this is all information, guys, for all of our edification, just so you can cultivate your understanding of what's going on. You have to be gentle as the dove, but wiser than the serpent. Okay. So when the woke, so when you see these angry feminists or this woke crowd, they get out there and they just give you these like 5-second gotcha questions, or try to initiate these, instigate these little, I don't know, what do you want to call them? Half-baked debates with you when they have a completely context-free. This is the context, guys. This is the information that you use to combat those insufficient arguments that they try to make. All right, so I hope you guys can see this. So, top 10 things everyone should know about women consumers. One of the world's greatest emerging markets is closer than you think. Women are the world's most powerful consumer, and their impact on the economy is growing every year. So, this adds to what I said earlier, guys. This is why he said, all right. This is why women have many social conventions out there that will push them to constantly go out there and live their best life. All right. We even got songs now that are actually singing, chanting that very phrase. Live your best life. Live your best life. Yeah. Until you're lonely, bitter, and sad. All right. Let's continue here. So, again, women have an impact on the economy. So the market is going to cater to what women say and how they feel and what their opinions are. That's why men are being shut down and suppressed and censored all throughout the World Wide Web. Because if a woman says something, that's gospel. All right. She can weaponize the full levers of power against that man to shut him down. Why? Because here it is. Women account for 80% of the consumer spending. The global income of women are predicted to reach a staggering 18 trillion. 18 trillion. Guess how much money you women, ladies, have just forked over. And that could have, just think of how much better in position we would have been in if that money was appropriated to families. Think about it. Wouldn't we be in much better shape if that money wasn't misappropriated to fuel the woke gynocracy? 18 trillion by 2008. Oh, this is 18 trillion. It's 2018. according to the global professionals, services, blah, blah, blah. What is this? If the consumer economy had a sex, it would be female. Oh, yeah, of course. Women drive 70 to 80% of all consumer purchasing through a combination of their buying power and influence. Influence means that even when a woman isn't paying for something herself, she is often the influence or veto vote behind someone else's purchase. Oh my gosh. This is deep. Are y'all? This is deep. Well, thank you, Deborah. I'm glad to have you. Glad it worked out for you. Appreciate that. All right, let me just scan the chat here, make sure everyone's on YouTube. All right, cool. Looks like it. If you're still here on Facebook, transition over to YouTube. Hey guys, I need every last one of you guys to share this out to a buddy, a friend, a family member, an enemy, anybody. Just share it out. Share it out, okay? Got quite a few of you in here, so please share that out for me. I appreciate that. 70s babies here. What name am I putting in YouTube? Fair Media? No, guys. You're gonna be putting in the Real Unwoke. The Real Unwoke. All right, put that in, and should see my beautiful face pop up or my logo, one or the other. I'll see here. All right, now let's move on to here. So you guys, so what have we established so far? Okay, we have established that in the early 50s, the women had to go into the workforce, right? And oops, oh, here we go. Now my camera's starting acting up. All right, guys, might have to give me 1 second here. Actually, you know what? Forget it, because I know if I start tinkering with this thing, it'll just get worse. Screw it. But what we established so far is that women had to go into the labor force, and by doing so, that has increased the labor supply, and then that cut the wages for the employees, because remember that there is a surplus of labor. You don't have to pay as much because people are just willing to work for what they can get. All right. And now that women have been, what do you want to say? They've been acclimated into the labor force. There are social incentives for women to completely abandon their biological imperatives, which is family and having a husband and children. All right. They have completely been convinced by feminism to abandon traditional roles, to, live out their best life. Go to school, accumulate hordes of debt, and spend their life away. Spend. All right, so let's go ahead, and I want you guys to see how much debt our lovely ladies account for. Okay, so American women hold 2/3. American women hold 2/3 of all student debt. Here's why. Americans collectively hold 1.5 trillion on student debt. Okay, that's still a lot, but some students are shouldering more of the burden than others. According to the American Association of the University of Women, women hold roughly 2/3 of all student debt in the nation as of 2019. Women hold almost 929 billion in outstanding student debt. Now put yourself in a man's shoes, okay? Put yourself in a man's shoes, okay? If I was out there, just out there in the fray, in the dating market, okay, and I'm looking for a wife, okay, I'm thinking that my delicate, sweet, soft-spoken Cinderella, I'm just gonna say Cinderella, all right? She's out there waiting for me, all right? I'm out there on the hunt, all right? And then as I'm looking around, I'm kind of just observing, I'm looking around, I'm noticing, wow, these women are masculine. They're aggressive. They're very assertive, very opinionated. And they come with these unrealistic standards, right? And not only that, they have massive amounts of debt. I, as a husband, as a man, I'm supposed to take on this. I am supposed to take on this debt. Me? For what? For your $35,000 a year job that doesn't even pay out what you what you put in? Come on, guys. Something's not adding up. Something is not adding up. Our lovely ladies are falling for the scam. Okay? And again, I want to put some of the fault on the men, but I can't put it all because I'm sorry, ladies. You guys have choice now. You ask for equality. This is what you got. You can't complain about the outcomes of what you asked for. You just can't. You want equality. This is what you got. A bunch of debt, right? The entire infrastructure pandering to you. And, you got guys that are just not really taking you seriously. And look, one of biology is facts, data, statistics can be troublesome things at times, guys. It can be troublesome because unfortunately what biology has taught us is that women practice hypergamy, and that it countervails their life choices. Some of these women, these career-minded women, it's countervailing to their life choices. And let me explain. Typically, Barbara said, "Good deal." oh, I'm sorry. You guys are chatting amongst each other. Okay, but listen to this though. Women practice hypergamy. All right, so that means that they typically date up because historically, for thousands and thousands of years, women are seeking for the bigger and the better and the best. Okay. That's why 40% of men do not pass their genes on. Okay. They're not going to be able to pass their genes on because women are the selectors of who gets to pass their genes on. All right. That's just from a historical, evolutionary biological standpoint. So, but the hardwiring is still here, guys. We may have different software, but the hardwire is still the same. So although these women are career-minded, sexually liberated, independent, strong, hold up, let me see if I got something for that. There it is.
I don't need a man. I'm independent. I'm doing for myself. I'm taking care of me and my kids.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you price yourself out when you put yourself at a statistical disadvantage. And let me say this. So when a woman is making let's say she's a career-minded woman and she's making an excess of $100,000 a year. Unfortunately, there's a very small percentage of men who fall in that income bracket. And typically those men are masculine in nature, and they're not looking for career-minded women because, again, as I said earlier, these women come with certain traits, and those traits are not typically conducive to long-term relationships. All right. And besides, I mean, they're much older. They've acquired more experience, more trauma, and, there was actually a study done which showed that universally men between the ages of 18 and 64 desire women between the ages of 18 and 24. Men value purity, right? They value femininity. Okay. And they value fertility. Now, if you work 1,000 billable hours in, I don't know, some law firm or something, you're pretty disheveled at that. By the time you're ready to settle down, which that's what feminism is telling women. Hey, look, postpone your prime years, forego your prime years to pursue your career, and then walk on into the husband store and pick one out. That's a lie. It doesn't work like that. And ladies in the chat, I need you guys to start telling women this. They have been sold a bill of lies. We have to start dispelling the lies with the truth. Feminism has lied. If you don't, as a woman, if you do not acquire a husband at a set period of time when you're at your best, understand something. The more you the more you grow in age, your options are gonna be a little bit more slim. All right. I've been divorced and since it seems much easier. Stacy said, I've been divorced since 1999. Seems much easier. It's really a shame. Well, if you're making it, hey, make it. No, this is no shot to you, but I would say, what is the best path moving forward? What do you want to encourage our daughters? What do you want to tell the young women coming up after you? What are you going to tell them? Don't worry. You can get divorced. Go pursue your career path. This is what we want to keep inculcating in our youth, right? So men can feel even more isolated than they already are. It's not gonna redound to our benefit, guys. It's really not. And I showed you guys this article before. Hold up. Like the video, guys. Like the video. Like the video. Like the video. Share. I appreciate you guys. All right. I read for some of you guys, this may not be new material, but if any of you guys are new in here, I just want you guys to kind of see what how this article ties into what we're saying, which is the least happiest demographic in America right now is a woman who is 42 years old, unmarried, no children, household income under 100,000, in a professional position, doctor, lawyer, etc. The least happiest demographic, guys. This is longitudinal data here. All right, we've got the numbers. He said, ladies, look at it like this. They still have 20% to go. Tony. Guys are crazy. So this is what I meant by women are being used as guinea pigs, because they're telling you guys a bunch of false propaganda to gas you up that you're not going to have to face the harsh reality of your bad decisions. Okay. The liberals, the beta males, the simps, the gynocrats, all of these social conventions and all of these panderers that are just completely and utterly lying to your face. Okay. I'm going to tell you the harsh truth. It may not be something you want to hear, but it's like a root canal. And I've said this before. The truth is like a root canal. Something you may not want, but you need it, and it's good for you. Okay. And the unvarnished truth is you need to utilize your prime years to find the best guy possible. All right. Set yourself up in a position to be a wife. What does it say in the Bible? He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. So that means you have to be in preparation to be found. That means you must have the traits of a wife in order to be found by a husband, a suitable man. All right. And if you come from a traditional setting where you have a family, a father, a mother, and all that, utilize your father to help screen out the man vet the candidate that is pursuing you. That's the advice we need to be giving our young women. That's the advice. Sheesh. And you know what? I want to say this. I also want to say this. Give more credit and respect to the men who have taken on the blue collar jobs to keep our country running, right? That runs the infrastructure, the power grid, work the construction, build the building, dig the ditches. Give these guys some respect. These men are keeping our country going. And these men deserve a wife too. But feminism is teaching women to scoff at those men. Totally and utterly just disregard them. Oh, they're blue collar men. They're blue collar workers. No, never. I'm not going to do that. No. Have some respect. These men deserve wives too. Those are my brothers. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm done with my rant here tonight. Maybe that's what we'll call Tuesdays, Tirade Tuesdays. How does that sound? Monday, Money Moving Mondays, Tirade Tuesdays, Hump Wednesdays. We need Thursday still for a theme for Thursdays, and then Fly Away Fridays. How's that? Does that work? Or is that like too corny? I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, guys, look, as we always do, how we end this, you guys already know. We are speaking truth and reality. And I promise you, my goal is to reinstitute morality. You guys have a good night.